guys, I'm Bee. Today I am so excited about this video because I'm going to be talking about makeup products for acne prone skin. If you're a new subscriber, just a little bit about my skin type. I am acne prone. I've got oily in the T-zone and combinations, dry patches on the cheeks. I mean, I've got sensitive skin, I mean, you name it. So I really do have to be really careful about what I put on my face. I mean, sometimes I can just look at something greasy and I feel like I'm going to have a breakout. You know what I mean? Today I'm going to share some of the products that I use that have helped my skin and it keeps acne at bay. And of course you can try it. It may not work for everyone, but it may help some of you if you tend to break out or have pimples. I will say that I still have the occasional pimple. There's just some things that we cannot prevent, like hormones. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's stop rambling and let's jump right into the products. Before I put on makeup, I always start off with a good moisturized face. And the two lotions that I use is the Aveeno Ultra Calming Daily Moisturizer with SPF 15, and then also the Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer, which has no SPF in it, but it does have salicylic acid. Both of these are oil-free, and so they both don't break me out. I pretty much use this for the daytime, and I use this for the nighttime. It allows me to have that salicylic acne treatment that will help acne stay at bay. Salicylic acid is very good for those that have acne prone skin. So I really love these two products and I highly recommend them. Next is a primer. Now I have been using this primer for over a year now. I want to say it's been approaching like a year and a half maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know it's been over a year. And I have been using the Clear Prep Cover Effects primer. And I've used it so much that some of the Cover Effects logo has like worn off. But this stuff is amazing. I love this primer. It is almost done, which I'm so sad, but it has lasted me. There's still a few more uses out of this, and I'm going to get every last drop. Now, I will say that this is a little bit pricey. I found mine at Sephora. But it lasts forever and it is amazing. Let me tell you some of the benefits of this primer. Primer lets your makeup go on really smooth, just like when you're painting your house. So that's really nice. It just allows your foundation to just go on really easily, but it also helps the longevity. I used to think primers didn't make a big deal. They do. I realized the days that I did not put on this primer, like my foundation did not last as long or look as beautiful at the end of the day. This one helps it last all day long and helps my foundation look so beautiful all throughout the day. So I love it. But the big kicker with this one is that this one also has an anti-acne treatment gel, which basically just means there's some salicylic acid in this guy right here, which I love. And I really feel like this helped contribute to keeping acne at bay. So I love this primer. Moving on to foundation, let's get into the makeup, the real makeup. The three foundations that I typically go to if I'm wearing foundation, I don't wear foundation every day, which that helps with my skin, but if I do wear foundation, the three foundations that I use are my Chanel Perfection Lumiere, which is like a high-end one, so I don't use this every day. This is just for special occasions, but it is amazing. I use my Revlon Colorstay. I love this thing. It is amazing and it makes your skin look flawless. Highly recommend it. I highly recommend this because it makes your skin look flawless and it is available at the drugstore. And then lastly is the Physicians Formula Talc-Free Talc-Free Mineral Wear Mineral Tinted Moisturizer. So this is a tinted moisturizer. This is very light coverage. This is when I just want to even out my skin tone, but I love it because it's talc-free. All of these products are oil-free, and it's not going to cause you to break out. These are the three foundations that I kind of rotate out depending on what kind of coverage I want. Now, here is a big part of my makeup routine that I believe has helped out my skin tremendously. About a year and a half ago, I found out that my skin was allergic to talc. And I found that out because someone else on YouTube talked about how her skin was allergic to talc, and you can tell if it's allergic to talc if you have those little tiny bumps. They're not necessarily pimples, but they're just little breakouts, and they're tiny little bumps that you can't do anything with. And I'm like, oh, I get those little bumps. So she said, if you get those things, you might be allergic to talc, which is a huge ingredient, usually the #1 ingredient in most powder products, in powders, in blushes, in bronzers, all of those things. And I'm like, what? So I, of course, went through all of my products and found out that all of my products had talc in it. But then I found out that Physicians Formula, which you can find in the drugstore and is somewhat affordable, it's more on the pricey side in the drugstore, but it's better than going and spending the high-end dollar at a department store. But it is the only drugstore brand that has talc-free products, and they're amazing. So I did an experiment with my skin for 3 months straight where I only used talc-free powder products, and I saw my skin clear up, and I wasn't getting those little tiny bumps anymore, and it was just amazing. So I really contributed it to these products, and I still use them to this day. So enough blabber, let me get on to them. This right here is my palette, and it has a lot of my everyday products in it, so I didn't have like 5,000 that's exaggerating. But I didn't have a bunch of compacts that I had to open separately and dig through my makeup and try and find them. They're all in one place, and it just makes putting on makeup so much quicker and so much more convenient. So I love this. This is just a Z palette. But I depotted my Physicians Formula powder products. As you can see, they have gotten much love because I've hit pan on my powder and my bronzer, and I really, really need to get a new bronzer. Now, I've got this powder right here. They typically come in packaging kind of like this, and it's like the really big, bulky, compact. And I just recently got another powder. Now, this is a different kind. This is the Mineral Airbrushing Pressed Powder, and it's SPF 30. This is in the color Beige. And so this one is like, it claims to wear for 16 hours, and it's the airbrush effect. And the one that I've currently been using for the past year has been the Mineral Wear, just mineral face powder. And so I swatched both of them to see what the big difference was. This one's real smooth when you swatch it, if you swatch it with your finger. This one is a little bit more tacky because I feel like once you put it on, it's tacky's not the right word, but it's not as smooth, and I think it's because that's just the formula to allow it to last longer. They both look beautiful on the skin, and I love them both, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend. If you wanted to just wear powder and not worry about foundation, this might probably give you a little bit more coverage, the 16-hour airbrushed powder. But I recommend both of them. If you just want something to top your liquid foundation, this is a very good one. Now, the bronzer that I have is called the Mineral Wear Talc-Free Bronzer. Love this bronzer. Very pigmented. They only have a couple of shades. If you've got a darker complexion, this bronzer does show up. I was scared that it wasn't going to be dark enough for me, but it's very pigmented, so love it. Now, the blushes. I have 2 blushes that are this talc-free formula, and this one is in the color Rose. This peachy color is in the color Natural. They're both really pretty. This is my Tarte blush right here. That has talc in it, but I use it every once in a while. I will still use some of my blushes just because it's in one concentrated area and it's not like all over my face. And so I just switch out, but for the most part, I will use my talc-free blushes, and I love them. They're very, very pigmented. So those are the makeup products that I use. Oil-free lotions and primers with salicylic acid, foundations that are oil-free, and powders without talc. And so that has helped out my skin tremendously. It looks so much better than it used to, and I just love these products. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I will answer that as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. You guys rock, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.